Hi again. We've established that your personal brand is the way in which your personality, unique skills, and values as a designer intersect with your public persona. Your personal brand is an essential way to demonstrate your value as a designer and should be a central focus when building your portfolio. But why do personal brands matter? Let's investigate. When you think of the word brand, well-known businesses come to mind. How do you think about a company when you hear their name? What's your perception of McDonald's as a brand? Or Starbucks? What about Apple? All of these are major brands with very different messages about their business, products, and the value they offer consumers. They might even make you feel a certain way when you think about them, like hungry or excited. But branding isn't just for big companies. People think about their brands too. For example, celebrities choose their work and philanthropies they support based on the personal brand they want to convey. You can do the same thing as a UX designer. You want to build a personal brand that showcases the type of work you want to do. Your personal brand is your primary source of marketing, which is why it's so important to be your authentic self. So how do you figure out what your personal brand should be? You can start by asking yourself a few questions. What am I naturally good at? What have I learned to do well? What do I enjoy? What do I value? How do other people describe me and my talents? And what do I want people to recognize me for? If you're already answering those questions in your mind, fantastic. Later, you'll complete a worksheet that will help you answer these questions. Now let's explore why branding is important. When you're working as a UX designer or in any other creative role, your personal brand is a way for you to stand out from the crowd. Otherwise, it's easy to get lost in a sea of job applicants. You want recruiters to understand who you are, your passions, and your strengths right away. Having a strong personal brand can also help match you with companies that share your values. When a company looks for a designer, it's helpful for them to understand your personal brand before they hire you. Think about how you might shop at a certain store based on their branding. For example, what brand comes to mind when you hear the words inexpensive or expensive? What about healthy or comfort food? And how about celebrities? Who would you describe as a social activist or generous or humble? Ideally, you want the way you think about yourself and the way others describe you to be similar. When you think about your personal brand, it's useful to come up with a list of your talents and values. When doing a personal branding exercise, you might realize that your self-perception and public perceptions are different. That's perfectly normal, but it's not ideal when you're trying to project a particular brand. So you might want to think about how you can bring your self-perception and public perception closer together. In addition, your brand should be consistent everywhere you have a presence online. That includes your social media accounts, your profiles on UX design communities, your resume, and your business cards. If figuring out how to communicate your personal brand in writing makes you nervous, we've got your back. Later, we'll go through best practices to describe your work in writing. Keep up the awesome work.